You've clicked on this video. Well, that tells me that you're wanting to make more money with Facebook monetization program. Well, lucky for you, this video will be the only training you'll ever have and need in your life on Facebook, because I'm going to go over very key topics on how the algorithm works, how the bidding system works, and what creators are doing that are making 10, 50, even $100,000 per month. So what I highly suggest, if you're wanting to make more money on Facebook with the monetization program, please do not be on your phone. Get rid of all distractions. I want you on your computer. Don't listen to music. I want you to take this very, very seriously. This is a training that I will teach my clients that pay me $2,000 for 1 hour. I'm giving this away for free. And the reason why I'm giving this away for free is there's just so much nonsense on social media when it comes to Facebook monetization program. Everyone's telling you that they have this secret of making money, and they're telling you that to concentrate on text posts, or that stories pay the most, or you need to do reels. And then you find out that they're selling you coaching, and then their clients, they're also coming to me complaining. So I feel the need to do this training. It's a masterclass training. I could literally charge thousands of dollars for this training, because at the end of this video, you're going to know more than 99.99% of marketers and content creators on social media, on Facebook monetization. So again, please get rid of all distractions. Please take this seriously. If you're wanting to make more money on Facebook, take this seriously. Now, I'm not going to waste, 2-3 hours of your time. I'm going to go through this as quickly as I can, because I don't want to do any, secret retention hacks to keep you watching for longer. I'm simply going to go over these key topics, explain it to you like I'm explaining to one of my clients. And just recently, a couple of months ago, I taught a strategy to one of my clients, and his first 28 days, he had over 500 million views. So what I know, works, and that's because I've been studying marketing for over 20 years. I live and breathe marketing. 80% of my time is research and going over different strategies and systems, analyzing data. I love business. I love marketing. I live and breathe marketing. I love it. And I am one of, if not the very best in the world when it comes to strategies. So please take this seriously. Let's get into it straight away. So the key topics that we'll be discussing in this training is: what pays the most out of text, image, stories, reels, or videos? There's so much nonsense when it comes to this. Why aren't I earning much revenue? 99% of people are, doing posts about this on Facebook. They're complaining how bad their revenue is, and we'll be discussing why. I feel Facebook is restricting my reach. That's a question that everyone's asking as well. I've seen screenshots on social media of $5, $10, even $50,000 in revenue. If I copy them, I'll just make the same, right? Facebook bonus program versus the new program. What's the difference? I don't understand why some of my posts get paid hardly anything and others make hundreds of dollars. Is this random? There's a lot of people that are saying that Facebook just pay people randomly, but that's because they don't understand how the system and the Facebook algorithm works. Why do some creators make more than me, even though we are in similar niches? Very, very key topic. If I post 20 times per day and use Chat GPT to write my post like everyone else, will I make money? That's a strategy that people have been doing for the last couple of weeks. People are being taught to post 15 times a day, use Chat GPT or other software, and literally just keep posting content, and you're going to make thousands of dollars a month. We'll be going over that and why that isn't working for a lot of people. Why do only some of my posts go viral and others don't? Why do other creators go viral all the time? They'll get millions of views daily and I don't. How do I make more money with Facebook content monetization program? What's the secret? What's the average revenue per 1 million views? How does the Facebook bidding system work? Very, very key on learning how monetization works. And I would personally say, so I've researched hundreds of different Facebook monetization program videos on YouTube. I've read everyone's posts on Facebook, And not one person actually understands how the system works. And for those that have run Facebook ads before and you're an expert in running Facebook ads and you've studied how the bidding system works, this is called manual bidding, okay? Most people work on automatic bidding, but when it comes to manual bidding, if you're that expert in Facebook ads, I'm sure you already know how the bidding system works. Well, this is kind of how the monetization system works. So I'll be going into that. And how do I maximize my Facebook earnings? So I'm guessing you're watching this video because you're serious to maybe change your life. You're serious to, make more money. Now, making more money could, maybe you're making $200 a week and you're wanting to make $500 a week. Well, this is the perfect video. Maybe you're someone like me that wants to make, $20,000 or $50,000 a month with Facebook. Well, if that's the case, this is the video. So we're going to be going over these one by one. I may get distracted and go over another topic if I think of a topic that is going to help you learn the system and the algorithm and to help you make more money. Before we get started, get rid of all distractions. Drop a comment and subscribe to the channel. I'll be doing more stuff like this, more free training. Let's get started on number one. What pays the most out of text, image, stories, reels, or videos? So I am seeing hundreds of different posts on Facebook and Threads and even YouTube when it comes to this. Now, there's people that are saying text pays the most. So I want you to just do text posts. And then other people are saying, no, image posts pay the most. And then other people are saying, well, stories pays the most. What I'm going to show you, and you will learn why certain things pay the most. It's not because of text pays the most or videos pay the most. It's based on the bidding system. And more importantly, a lot of people say Facebook is all about engagement now. Now, that is true. So that goes into the old Facebook bonus program versus the new system. So the old bonus program paid more on views and reach, okay? But Facebook is smart. So they found a way to pay creators less money while doing more work. So what I mean by that is the average cost per, so here, the average cost or the average revenue per 1 million views on the old bonus program was roughly $100. Now, some people were earning more, some people were earning a little bit less, but on average, the majority of people were earning a lot more money based on 1 million views. So on average, it was about $100. But what I'm seeing now, it's about anywhere from $20 to $150. But usually what I'm seeing is, especially for memes, is on the Facebook bonus program, you'd be paid about $100 per 1 million views. Whereas at the moment, because it's not based on views, now you're being paid about $5 to even $20 per 1 million views. So Facebook are very, very smart. So they've realized that for them to make more money, instead of paying you on views and reach, they're paying you more on engagement. So they're paying you less money by a lot, and you have to get 3, 4, even 5 times as many views. Okay, so that's the difference between the Facebook bonus program and the new Facebook content monetization program. Is the old program was based on views and reach, but it was getting too easy for people, whereas now it's based on engagement. So people are having to work 5 times as hard to make the same amount of money. So if you want to make more money, you simply need to concentrate on engagement. But that isn't the number one thing. Okay, so as I answer these topics, I'm going to delete. Okay, so, and this one here as well. So on the old bonus program, it was about $100. Currently, at the moment, what I'm seeing, it's anywhere from $5 to maybe $80. But I also have clients, and I've also got friends that are making anywhere from $100 to even $250 per 1 million views. And that's because they not only get a lot of engagement, but they get a lot of watch time. That is the number one metric on Facebook. It's not views, it's not likes, it's not comments, it's not shares, it's not saves, it's watch time / time spent on Facebook. And I'll be going more into this later, but there's a reason why Facebook will pay you more money based on the time on Facebook. And I'll give you a quick example. Facebook is based on a bidding system. And when I say bidding system, you will learn what I mean later on in this training. But the whole way Facebook is set up is Facebook is free for everyone to use. Yeah. So for them to make money, they have to rely on people running ads. So I was running ads back in 2016 to 2020. I've got a lot of friends that are running ads, and all up, we've probably spent about $1 billion running ads, whether that's to a Shopify store or to a one-page, click funnel setup, or we're selling something, or something like that. So Facebook relies on brands, companies, and people like myself and maybe yourself to run ads. Now, some people might spend $5. There's people that are spending like $5 million a day. Like Wish.com and Temu. They're spending millions of dollars a day. Now, I can't actually say exactly the number that they're spending because I don't personally have access to their ad account or business manager. However, there's people that are spending a lot of money, and there's literally millions of people that are running ads. So that's how Facebook makes their money. They rely on people just like us to spend money on ads, okay? So the average revenue is different for everyone. It also depends on your niche, the keywords that you use, how big your audience is, your reach, your comments, your saves, your shares, and time spent on Facebook. Because the more time that you spend on Facebook, the more ads that you're going to see. And the more ads that you're seeing, the more money that Facebook is making, because for every ad that you see, they can charge a company or a brand or a person money because they're showing you that ad. So basically, this is different for everyone, okay? But on average, it's between $5 to maybe $80. However, depending on your niche and what you're doing, it can be anywhere up to $250. And if you're doing like a long form video and you're getting a lot of watch time, that could be $1,000. It totally depends on literally hundreds of different factors. Okay, so what pays the most? So no one can actually tell you this. No one. So the people that are telling you just do text, do 15, 20 text posts a day, you'll find that they're making money doing that. And then you do that, but then you're not actually making any money. And that's what I said before. There's no one thing that is best because it depends on the bidding system, which we'll be going over in detail later. So text pays exactly the same as image. Image pays exactly the same as stories. What is actually key here is the time spent on Facebook. So the reason why some text pays more than image, like I'll give you an example. Let's just say I have a meme page and it's about a funny dog wearing a chef's hat and he's cooking food in the kitchen. Again, I'm just using my imagination. And it's got like a joke or it's a meme. Most people get jokes and memes within 2 or 3 seconds. What people do is they laugh, they go, haha, that's funny or that's cute or whatever. But they keep scrolling. So once you get something, you keep scrolling. You have a laugh, you keep scrolling. And because memes have no text in the meme, in the image, because there's the title and then there's the image. Okay, so if you have a title and a photo or text and a photo, you're probably going to be paid a little bit more money. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Because how the bidding system works is they go based on keywords. So if you just have a meme on Facebook, there's no keyword. So Facebook is relying on your meme And your meme, so how Facebook works as well. And every photo, every video that you put up on Facebook, it scans the photo. So I'll give you an example. If you upload a photo of you and a dog or you and a cat, even if you don't add any text and you don't tell Facebook anything, Facebook already has the infrastructure and the software that will scan the image or the video, and it will scan that it's got a cat and one person. So it'll actually say one person or one human and one cat. If you have a photo of a frog, it'll scan the image and it'll say green frog or frog. So what I'm getting at is you don't need text. However, the more data that you can give Facebook, the more data that it can use for the bidding system. And that is linked to how businesses and people spend money. Okay, but we'll be going over this because this is very, very key to understanding how Facebook works. So back to this, it all pays the same. What really matters is time spent on Facebook. So there's a video and there's a guy that made, $100,000 to $200,000 on a video that he uploaded on Facebook. So when people are saying, well, text pays the most, no, image pays the most. No, it's not about that. If text pays the most, there should be someone out there that does these text AI prompts, posts on Facebook that have generated $200,000 on one of their posts. And I can confidently say there's not one person in the world that has written a text post on Facebook and has generated $200,000. Okay, maybe you've generated 3,000, 4,000 if it's gone viral, maybe 5,000, but you haven't made 200,000. You've made 200,000 if you've probably done a video, a long form video, and it's got maybe 50 to 300 million views, and it's gone for 5 to 8 minutes. Then you've probably made. So when we go deep into this topic, videos will actually pay the most and text will actually pay the least. However, it's not about that. It's about time spent on the platform. So the longer that you can keep someone on the platform and engaging, the more money that you're going to make. Yeah. So if you write a text post and someone is reading that post, and let's just say it's a quick little quote, and the quote is, let's just say it's 20 words long. Well, it doesn't take someone a long time to read that. So it might take me 5 seconds to read 20 words. I might leave a little bit of a comment and then scroll on. Yeah. You're not really going to be paid much money. Yes, you might go viral because it could be a cool little quote, but you're not going to make much money. But if it's time spent on platform and it's a long text post with, let's just say 5,000 words or 1,000 words, and it's very valuable, it means that people are spending, 2 minutes to maybe 10 minutes reading that post. So they're spending a lot of time on the Facebook. Yeah. And if you're spending a lot of time, you're more likely going to read what's in the comments. You're going to be replying in the comments. So the engagement is going to go up because you're more invested in what you're doing. Okay. So again, there's people that have made over $200,000 on a video post, not on a text post. So in context, video pays the most, but in reality, it's not about that. It's about the watch time and the percentage of time spent on Facebook. Facebook wants you to spend 1 hour instead of 5 minutes on the platform. So if you write a post and people are reading it and it takes them 10 minutes, that's better than if it's just a quick meme. That's why memes pay the least amount of money, because you're not spending a lot of time on Facebook, which means that you're spending less time on Facebook, less time seeing advertising. You're less likely to make a decision and click on something and buy. They need you and they want you on the platform. Okay. So let me just delete this. why aren't I earning much revenue? Okay, so this all depends on and I honestly see this a lot. So I'm involved in it's a group called Facebook Issues or Facebook Policy Issues or something. It's got like 150,000 followers, and there's a lot of people that are saying that they're not making much revenue. The majority of people that aren't making much revenue, they don't have many followers. And I can confidently say the more followers that you have, the more revenue you're going to be making. And that's simply because you've got more views, you've got more reach, you've built the audience. So I'll give you an example. Most people don't have 100,000 followers. Most people don't have 1,000,000 followers. So the people that are complaining that they're not making much revenue, they've probably got 200 followers or 2,000 followers. So not a lot of people are seeing their post. And when that happens is you're not going to be making much money because there's not a lot of people interacting, there's not a lot of people engaging, and you're not getting a lot of eyeballs and watch time spent on Facebook on that specific post. And if you don't have a lot of followers, there's less followers that are going to be clicking an ad that's attached to your post. And we'll be going into this later. So when it comes to Facebook, Facebook will pay you more money. And I just want you after this video to please don't do it now. Please pay attention. And I hope you're really paying attention to this training. So when it comes to Facebook, regardless if it's text, reels, videos, you're going to see ads that are attached to something that's going well. It doesn't have to be going viral, but it's usually when a creator is creating great content. And that is determined by the engagement, watch time, and the increase of engagement on that creator's profile. We all have data on our profiles. We all have data on our ads manager and business manager if you're spending money on. So every time that you click on something, whether you zoom in, zoom out, you click on a video, you pause a video, you save something, Facebook tracks everything. So the reason why most people don't make much revenue is you simply don't have the amount of followers that say someone that's making, $5, $10, $20,000 a month. So the research that I've done on creators that are making, 10, 20, even 50, $100,000 a month, they've all got a lot of followers. And not all of them have a lot of followers. Sometimes you get lucky. So let's just say you've got 20 to 40,000 followers. Sometimes you've got a niche account. And if you've got a niche account, it's very easy to go viral and make money because it's about the data. If you can feed Facebook data and it's got one audience, you're going to make a lot more money than if you have thousands or hundreds of different data. And I'll give you an example. Let's just say, as an example, okay, and I'm just literally doing this training like I'm talking to a client. So this is a 4-pen. I don't know if you can see this, but that's a 4-pen where I write a lot of my stuff. So let's just say my Facebook was all about Facebook profile or page was all about pens, okay? And I have 20,000 friends or followers that follow me because I do posts about pens. And I do, value videos. I document different pens and what they look like. If a business spends money on an ad and they're targeting people who like pens or have bought a pen in the past, my earnings are going to be a lot more because the data in my profile or page, I've already got the audience and the data on my page. Versus if I do a post on a pen, but I also do a post on a water cup, and then I also do a post on mindset, and then I do a post on coffee, I've got all this mixed data. And what happens is Facebook doesn't actually know that my audience is good for someone who's going to see this ad. Therefore, the CPM is going to be really inconsistent. So my earnings are going to drop. So what I'll say is if you want to make more money with Facebook, I want you guys to concentrate on building something niched. Now, that is, if you're doing, if you're a marketer like me, I just want you to concentrate on marketing. I don't want you to do anything else. Now, I do a lot of topics because I've been learning for about 20 years on marketing, business, advertising, mindset, nutrition, exercise, fitness, copywriting, sales funnels. I've been learning for a very, very long time. But the reason why I'm not growing as much as I could be is because I'm an expert in many different fields. However, if you want to personally grow to 100,000 followers or even 1 million followers in the next 12 months to a couple of years, you need to do one thing. So you need to give Facebook data, and that only happens if you speak to one person, you have one message. And I'll give you a quick example. Instead of talking about mindset and marketing and sales funnels, talk about AI. Everything that you do is about AI. AI prompts, AI videos. Every time that you write a post, it includes the word AI. Every time you do a video, it includes AI. So you're feeding the system and the algorithm the data. So when people follow you, they all have an interest in AI. So when people spend money on Facebook, Facebook knows that someone's more likely to buy a product because they're showing it to the right audience. Okay, but we'll go more into that later. So, and it doesn't have to be AI. If you're into fitness, just do fitness. If you're into software, do software. If you're into technology, just do technologies. Do one thing, speak to one person, and do that. And if you're consistent over the next 12 months, you'll make probably twice as much money, even 5-10 times as much money, because you're getting the right followers. And it's super, super important to gain the right followers, because how the algorithm works is if you do a text post or a video post or a reel and no one engages, no one watches your stuff, Facebook is going to think that your post, even though it could be amazing, because no one's engaging and watching, it's not really good for the platform. So they're going to limit your reach. So this is why it's important to not be an expert in different things. Yeah, be an expert in one thing. Get one person to follow you. Do it consistently. Grow to 1 million people so they all have an interest in what you're doing, whether that's AI, fitness, technology, software, sales funnels, websites, copywriting. Become the very best person in the world at one thing. Gain all this data, and I guarantee you will make much more money because Facebook will have the data in the algorithm. And once people start running ads, they will know who to target. So your revenue will go from maybe $20 to $150, or it'll go from $100 to $220. So that is how you increase your revenue. And my voice is getting a bit sore. When I talk a lot, my voice will get a bit sore. I feel Facebook is restricting my reach. How do I find out? So I'm going to quickly show you how to find out if you're restricted. It's very, very easy. So what I want you to do, and in terms of privacy, I'll probably have to blur out my pages and a couple of things when I show you. So if you're seeing some stuff that's blurred out, that's why. It's basically just privacy. So what I want you to do is I want you to go on Facebook. Once you're on Facebook, I want you to click on or tap on your account, and you're going to click on help and support. Once you're here, type, click on account status. Now what I want you to do is I want you to tap or click on your name or your page name. Now here it'll say no restrictions. So if you're restricted on Facebook, this will say restricted. Okay, so what you can do is you click on this, and this will just tell you what you're restricted for. Now I've been, not that I've been restricted, but I had a copyright thing. This was just over a week ago, but it's actually false. So what Facebook will do is they'll restrict you a lot of the time for no reason. They'll put copyrights on one of your posts. It'll say, it's unoriginal content, even though you posted it. Facebook is run by AI. 4 or 5 years ago, Facebook wasn't run by AI. It was actually run by humans. Whereas at the moment, everything's run on AI systems. So Facebook will restrict you for saying different words, or they'll say that you're copyrighted because you've done something that's gone under violence. It's just really, really stupid. So you have to be very, very careful with Facebook. But if you're restricted, you will see it here. So I'm not restricted. And here it says recommendations. If you click on this, okay, then this should be green. So it says here for me, we can't recommend your profile's content. You have options to help fix blah, 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 blah. So as I said before, this is the false copyright strike that I got 9 days ago. And this has been already fixed on Facebook. So a couple of days ago, my monetization was demonetized, but since then it's been back on. So I'm now monetized again, but this keeps popping up. But I am monetized, and I am being recommended, even though this is saying that I'm not. As you learn how Facebook works, you'll start to learn that Facebook's just full of bugs. They will constantly show you notifications that aren't relevant, or it's literally a nightmare. Okay, so let's move on. So let's go over to the next one. So that's basically how you find out if you are restricted. I've seen screenshots on social media of $5, $10, even $50,000 revenue. If I copy them, I will make the same. Okay, so this is a big no-no. So what I want you to understand is, let me just draw something. So let's draw here, and I hope you can see this. So let's just say there's someone with 1 million followers, and that's what they look like. And here's you with 2,000 followers. Okay, you've only got 2,000 followers. This person's got 1 million followers. Now this person here, they put a screenshot on Facebook or Threads, and they're like, boom, I just made $15,000. And they show you their earnings, and their text posts are doing well, their image posts are doing well. And they seem to be absolutely killing it when it comes to Facebook. So you think by you doing what they're doing, you're also going to be making $15,000. Well, that's actually really not true. So if you divide this, 1 million divided by 2,000, okay? So 1,000 times 1,000 is a million. So that's what, 500? So realistically, what's 15,000 divided by 500? I don't even want to do the maths here, but so divide by 10. So that's 150. You're probably going to be making like literally no money. Okay, so even if you do the same thing as this person here, you're probably going to be making maybe $20, maybe $50 if you do the same amount of posts. And that's simply because this person has more followers than you, more reach, more views, more engagement, more likely to go viral. It's super. So the more followers that you have, the easier it is to make money. And that's because, again, more people follow you. You've got more people looking at your content, clicking on ads, watching ads, buying things, buying products. So this is super easy to do. And this is why, and I get this a lot. I get a lot of people tagging me in screenshots. Oh my God, Alan, check this out. They've just made $5,000. They've just made $20,000. Oh my God. And it's like, yeah, but most of these people here, and this is what you need to realize, guys. Most of the people that are making big bucks, whether it's, $5,000, $50,000, or even $100,000, they've got a huge audience. The person that I personally know that made $100,000 in 28 days, they had about 20 million followers. But because I personally know someone that made $100,000 in 28 days, you're thinking, oh, that could be me. I could make 100,000. No, you can't. Not many people can, because you probably don't have 20 million followers. This is what I mean, guys. It's like people can tell you different strategies, but it's not until you see this from another point of view, and from a marketing bird's eye view on on the reality of what systems and the data tells you. I'm not going to sit here and say if you follow this person and their strategy because they've made $40,000 in a month, therefore if you buy their coaching you're also going to. No, that's not how it works, guys. You'll probably make $20 or $50 because you simply don't have the followers. Now let's just say you go viral and the next month you go from 2,000 to 5,000 followers. So you've gained 3,000 followers. And let's just say in 28 days, you've had, let's just say as an example, you've had 3 million views, okay? And let's say magically you now have 6 million views on the second month. Well, you've gone from making $20 to maybe $65, okay? And the third month, you've now got, let's say 9,000 followers. You get 10 million views. You've now made, let's just say $140. So you're going to make more money because you're gaining more followers. And the more followers that you have, the more people that are going to see your posts, engage in your posts, watch your videos. It's very hard to make money when you've got no followers. And if you don't believe me, I want you to create a new profile. I want you to create a new page and I want you to post content, do 10 posts, and I want you to see how much money that you make, because I guarantee you'll get 0 likes, maybe 1 like. You'll only make money if you go viral. And that only happens if you have a following or you get a lot of people engaging in your content. So this is why if I just copy them, I will make the same amount of money. So no, this is why I teach on my Facebook. I teach people how to think, not what to do. And this is what I'm doing with you guys. I want you to start learning about how to use your brain instead of just doing and following orders. And that kind of comes from buying people's coaching programs, because these people don't think, they do. There's a huge difference between thinking and doing. I want you guys to use your brains and think strategy, analyze, not follow what people are doing and do. Because if you just do that, you're going to be copying what this person's doing. They've just made $40,000, and if I just do what they're doing, I'm also going to make money. 99% of you aren't going to make money. And then you're going to be like, this person's a scammer. I don't know what this person, it's a scam. It doesn't work. No, it's because this person doesn't understand how to use their brain. They're a doer. And I want you guys not to be a doer. I want you to think. And thinking is, okay, so why is this person making so much money? Is it because they've got 1 million followers? Well, if that's the case, I want to do a bit of research. So for the next 24 hours, I'm going to research as many creators as I humanly possibly can. So I'm going to go on YouTube, Pinterest, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. And I'm going to research creators that are making over $5,000, $10,000 a month. And I'm going to put a list in the spreadsheet and I'm going to see how many followers they have. And I can honestly say 99% of these people have over 50,000 followers or 100,000. So the more money that people are making, the more followers that they have. So the biggest tip I can give you is, if you want to make more money, you simply need to get more followers, because more followers equals, again, more likes, more comments, more engagement, more interactions, more saves, more shares, more time spent on Facebook, more time watching your videos, more time interacting. They're spending more time on Facebook. They're more likely to watch an ad. And if they're more likely to watch or click an ad, you're paid more money. Okay? I hope this is all making sense. So I'm just going to delete this here. I don't understand why some of my posts get paid hardly anything and others make hundreds of dollars. Is it at random? So I actually saw this about a week ago, and it's just really, really funny how when people don't understand how the algorithm works, they just assume that Facebook just pays people randomly, and that's simply because people just don't understand how the monetization system works. So no, Facebook don't just pay you $20 and then the next day they pay you $100, and then your best friend might be making more than you, but then they're paying them more money because they want to. No, as I said before, it's based on a bidding structure and a bidding system, and it's based on data, which will be going when we explain Facebook bidding system. So no, Facebook doesn't pay people randomly. It's based on how much money businesses and people that are spending on ads and what they're doing. Now, Facebook has, hundreds of millions or billions of dollars worth of money based on who's spending money to run ads. Yeah. So let's just say I'm a business and I'm wanting to sell my pen. I'm going to target people in the US, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, and the UK, maybe a few countries in Europe. And I'm going to target people who like pens, or I'm going to put in famous pen companies. So Facebook is going to run my ad to people that have an interest in pens. Okay. Now, if people have bought pens before, it's going to cost me a little bit more money. If people are clicking on things and buying things and interacting, it's going to cost me a little bit more. So it's all based on the bidding system, okay? And once you understand the bidding system, you'll understand how monetization works. So again, Facebook just does not pay you randomly. There's a lot of people that think that Facebook just pays you randomly. No, it doesn't. Why do some creators make more than me, even though we are in similar niches? Yep. So again, you've probably found that, let's just say you're into AI and you've got 20,000 followers, and then someone else has 22,000 followers, but they're making $4,000 a month and you're only making $500 a month, and you're getting the same amount of views. Well, it could be anything from maybe that person lives in the USA and you live in Brazil or Australia. So there's two different audiences. Maybe the person that's making more money than you, they've built a deeper connection to their audience versus what you're doing. So the people that are seeing your stuff, maybe they're interacting on your posts or they're watching your videos, but they're not spending a lot of time on Facebook. Maybe they're not engaging enough. Maybe they're not clicking on the advertising. That's super, super important. But again, time spent on the platform. So if you've built a deeper connection with someone, you're going to make more money. So a quick example, let's just say I'm not making that much money, but I'm pumping out good quality content. If people are just looking at my stuff on the newsfeed and they're engaging, but they're not really engaged, and they're not spending, maybe they're spending 30 seconds to read my post, and then they like my post, they spend 30 seconds reading my post, and then they get off Facebook. Well, I'm going to be paid from Facebook, but it's not going to be much money compared to someone else that they're doing exactly the same thing as me, and maybe they're doing the same post as me, but because they've built a deeper connection with their audience, maybe what people are doing is they're reading their post, but they're engaging in the content more. They're reading other people's comments. They're engaging in the comments. They're replying back to people. And then they click off the ad and then they see that you've got a story. So because there's some emotion there, they're wanting to know what you're doing in your stories. So let's just say your newsfeed post was about AI, yeah? You use these 10 AI prompts to blah, 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 blah. But then in your stories, you're showing yourself in your office and you're talking about the best AI software and whatever. So it's completely different to what you're doing on the news feed because you've built the connection and people feel more of a connection and you're providing a little bit more value. They're now watching your stories, which pumps you up in the algorithm even more. So not only are you making more money in the news feed because they're spending more time, you're now making more money on stories. And if that's getting engagement and people are so liking your story, they're leaving you comments, you're going to be paid a lot more money. Okay, so it's based on engagement, and it's again based on interactions and what they're actually doing on Facebook. If I post 20 times per day and use Chat GPT to write posts like everyone else, will I make money? So there's a couple of people that are teaching this strategy. There's a guy called Austin Armstrong that's been telling people to post 15 times a day. Now, there's no right or wrong when it comes to this. Okay, now, from my point of view, I would rather you post 15 times a day than not post at all. I'd rather you post 15 times a day than post 5 times a day. So what he's basically saying is technically correct. You're going to make more money if you're posting more, yeah? So I agree with what he's saying and what a lot of other people are saying. If you want to make more money, you simply need more reach. You need more views, you need more engagement. And you're not going to get that by doing, 1 post a day or doing 5 posts in one day and then no one's engaging, so you wait 2 or 3 days and then you have another day where you post 3. You need to be consistent. So I would rather someone tell you you need to post 15 times a day for the next 6 months. And if you can't do that, this is not for you. Now, if you want to use software, and I'm pretty sure he has software, you can use that. Perfect. You can use Chat GPT, you can use Claude, or you can do what I do, where 99.99% of what I do is basically my own thoughts. I'll be in the shower and I'll be thinking of a random thing, or I'll be driving in a car and I'll go, I need to do this. I need to write this post. I'll have coffee in the morning and I'll think of different ideas. So I don't use ChatGPT and Claude for a lot of my stuff. However, if you guys need that and you're not creative or you don't have a lot of experience when it comes to marketing and writing content, or you're not a very good copywriter, or you just want the easy way to go viral and make money with Facebook monetization, 100% fine. You can do that. And if you want to use software to help you do that, perfect. Yeah, I encourage you to do that if it's going to help you stay consistent. So again, if I post 20 times a day, will I make money? That also depends on your audience. So you could have a brand new page. Even if you post 50 times a day, you need people to like, comment, engage, share, save. You're only going to make money if you go viral, you've got thousands, 10,000s, hundreds of thousands of followers. So example, if you have 200 followers on Facebook and you post 20 times a day, you probably need to post 100 times to get one post to go viral. Yeah, it's going to be very, very hard for you to go viral because when you've got a low follower count, no one really cares what you say because you've got no authority. And it's really, really sad. Some of my richest clients that are worth, $50 million, $100 million, some of these people have like 200 followers on Facebook and Instagram. They literally look like nobodies. They've got photos of their dogs or their photos of themselves on holiday with their family. Nothing's about business. Nothing's about their real estate companies. They literally look like nobodies. But if they taught something valuable, no one would care because people look at your follower count and go, well, you've only got 200 followers, so I'm not really going to take your advice seriously. This is why I don't like social media, because a lot of it is fake. So if you post 20 times a day or 50 times, no one's going to like it, no one's going to comment, no one's going to share because they don't really value your advice because you've only got 200 followers. So this is why it's very important to be consistent. So at the start, it's always going to be hard. And if you buy, someone's coaching or and they say that you're going to make money by following their system, you'll probably make money, but it'll probably be like $5, maybe $80. It's not going to be life-changing money. You simply need the followers. So what I want you guys to do is if you're new and you've got 200 followers or 0 followers or even 2,000 followers, I don't want you to concentrate on the quality. I want you to concentrate on virality. What can you do to go viral in a specific niche? Build your followers up. And once you have a certain amount of followers, you should start seeing your posts get more reach and views. And if you get more and more posts going viral, then I want you to post, a little bit more. You can start going from quantity to quality and start doing it that way. So, and again, it doesn't matter if you're doing 20 posts or 50 posts, but again, like I said before, I would rather you post 15, 20 times a day than post 3 times a day. Okay, it doesn't really matter. But I also know people that post one time a day and they make $50,000 a month. And I also know people that are posting 15 times a day, so 15 times more, and they're making about $5. So again, it depends on your followers, engagement, interactions, and how the bidding system works. It's got nothing to do with how many times you post. However, I highly encourage it because you need to be consistent, and you're only going to reach people if you have something on your page. No one's going to follow you if you have 3 posts, yeah? But if you have 300 posts and everything's based on AI or fitness or just one key subject or health, they're probably more likely to follow you because it's very niched, okay? So concentrate on one thing. Okay, let's go over. Why do some of my posts go viral while others don't? Again, so this highly depends on the algorithm. And honestly, a lot of the time it's just luck. And there's a guy that is currently selling Facebook coaching. I won't mention his name, but he teaches how to, so basically use Chat GPT. You're pumping out all this AI content, you're posting it on your Facebook, and you're going to make money, okay? That's basically the sum of it. What people don't know is this person got very, very lucky, okay? And not only did he have 500,000 followers already, some of his posts went mega viral. Now, I don't know if it was like 20,000 view, 20 million views or 50 million views or 100 million views, but there was a couple of days where he made like $3,000, $4,000, $7,000 in one day. So these posts went mega viral. If it was so easy to go viral, every single post that you do would go viral. The reason why they don't is it depends on the algorithm. What the algorithm's doing, the person that's seeing the ad pop up on their news feed, what people are currently doing and interacting, the watch time, everything. There's literally hundreds and hundreds, maybe even thousands of different data points on how this connects to one another. So this will usually happen if you have a lot of followers. Now, yes, you still can go viral if you have 2,000 followers, but it's going to be a lot harder than if you have 500,000 followers, because Facebook will only show your post, whether it's a text post, image post, video, reel, to let's just say 1 to 4% of your audience. So if you've only got 200 followers or 200 friends, not a lot of people are going to see your post. And if not a lot of people are going to see your post, there's not a lot of interaction, engagement in your post. So your post could be amazing. Could be like the most viral post ever. But if you're not getting the people engaging because you don't have the followers and the friends, it doesn't matter. It's not going to go viral. Whereas if you have 500,000 followers or 1 million followers, you're getting a lot of eyeballs. You're probably getting like 10, 20, 50,000 people looking at your photo or your image or your text on the newsfeed. So you're getting a lot more views and reach. And if these people are following you because you're doing one thing in specific and you've got a niche and you've built up that connection, you're going to get a high engagement rate, which means your Facebook and all social media algorithms favor engagement rates. So your job as a creator, marketer, entrepreneur, or a content creator is you need to write content or film content that's going to get people to interact. If people don't interact with your post, the algorithm just thinks that it's not good for the platform. And if it's not good, your reach declines. Whereas if you get a high engagement rate, whether that's likes, shares, comments, save, shares, watch time, the algorithm knows, well, this must be good content, therefore we're going to increase the reach, and that's how things go viral. So that's why. Let's move on to the next one. Why do other creators go viral all the time? They get millions of views daily and I don't. Well, again, we've just explained that it all depends on the algorithm and the data and how people are interacting. How do I make more money with Facebook content monetization program? What's the secret? Okay, so I've said it time and time again, and I hope you're paying attention to what I'm saying. The people that make the least amount of money, and guys, I spend 80% of my time, and I've been marketing for 20 years. I spend 80% of my time not coaching clients, but researching strategies and what's working. Because if I can fill my brain with knowledge and learn what is working, the systems, and analyze what is working, the strategies, I'm better to coach my clients. My clients are going to get much better results working with me than someone else, because I spend the majority of my time researching strategies and analyzing different trends, strategies, the data, etc. So the secret to making money, and I want you guys to pay attention, the people that are making the most amount of money have one niche. So exactly what I said before, they're not doing AI, they're not doing mindset, they're not doing nutrition, they're not doing copywriting. That's what I do because I enjoy it. I've only got, I think, almost 16,000 followers on Facebook. I could literally have 2 million followers right now if I literally concentrated on one topic. So for the next 12 months, if all I did was videos on AI, I could literally grow my audience to 1 million followers literally really, really easily. I don't want to because I don't have much interest in AI. I love marketing, I love coaching, and I love strategy. So, and because I've been learning about marketing for 20 years and I'm very good at what I do, I'm very knowledgeable when it comes to different things, whether it's copywriting, sales funnels, building websites, optimization. And I know that's not sexy for a lot of people. However, I enjoy it. So I would rather do that and get less followers rather than do something and get a lot of followers. But if you're wanting to grow like you've never grown before and you're wanting to 10x your revenue, concentrate on one niche, one message, one person. And what I mean by one person, you're talking directly to one person. So I'll give you an example. Let's just say I've got 1 million people that follow me because they love AI. That is my one person. So I might start my videos with, if you love AI, you're going to love this software that I'm about to show you, okay? Because I know that you love AI. So that's what I mean. One niche, one message, one person. Now, if you can do that, you do the 10, 20 posts per day. Now, it doesn't have to be 10, 20 posts per day, but I want you to post a lot. The people that I'm seeing that are making 5, 10, 15, 20, 50, $100,000 a month. Yes, there's people that are making $100,000 a month. They're posting a lot. They're posting, 10, 20 times a day. They're posting like reels and videos and text. Now, there's a lot of women that are making a lot of money. And the research that I've done, it's funny. It's mainly women that are making the money with Facebook monetization program. And what they're doing is a lot of these people are either stay-at-home mums or they're women that are just staying at home and trying to build a business. But what they do is they get out their phones. I don't know where my phone is, but they get out their phone and they literally set up their tripod and they talk to a camera while they're making coffee, or they film themselves and they talk about what they're doing for dinner, but they're constantly producing content. So this is what I want you guys to do. And like I said before, you don't know what's going to go viral. The stupidest video will get 10 million views, and the video that you put the most time in will get 200 views. So what I want you guys to do is one niche, one message, one audience. Be consistent. Pump out as much content as you humanly can. Share your posts inside groups that are public. Share, interact with your audience. So very, very important that your profile or your page, everything that you do is based on that one person. So let's just say you have a dog page and you're making money with dog posts or cats, or for this example, let's just say dogs. I want you, you're not interacting with your mum, you're not interacting with your brother, you're not interacting with your best friend. You're literally interacting with people who have dogs as pets. You're clicking on dog products. You're watching dog videos. You're interacting with dog text posts. Everything that you do. So you're building the data. If you build the data, you're going to make a lot more money than if you're just using your Facebook and you're interacting with everything and everyone, because Facebook relies on data, which will be going into the Facebook bidding. And this is the most important. This is what no one talks about. And we're getting into the very sexy stuff. So guys, before we go deep into how the bidding system works, this is a free training. This is the stuff that I teach my clients, and I charge $2,000 for a 1 hour phone call. Now, you might think that's expensive, but if I can get you guys to, go from making nothing to $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 a month, and you're doing this for 2 to 5 years, you've probably made $100,000 or $200,000, $300,000, $400,000. So spending $2,000 on a strategy call isn't that much. In fact, it's really good return on investment. However, I'm doing this for free. If you want to book in with a strategy call, you can. Everyone's different. Everyone's got a different niche, personality. Everyone's got different sticking points. So if you want to book in a strategy call with me, you can. Just simply contact me on Facebook, send me a message, tell me that you viewed this video and what you're wanting out. I'll be happy to jump on a call with you. I don't have a lot of time because I do a lot of consulting with one-on-one clients, 7-8 figure entrepreneurs and marketers. However, I will find the time to do it. So how do I maximize my earnings? Okay, so let's get into this stuff. I need a little bit of a drink of water, but this is the sexy stuff. And once you learn this, you won't look at monetization program the same. Now, back in 2015, I started to learn about Facebook ads and Shopify, and I believe it was 2016. That's when I was made my first $1,000 day, and that was because of Facebook. I learned about the bidding system, and my life changed since then. So how does the bidding system work? Okay, so let's say you are this person here. Okay, so you are the creator on Facebook, and this is the brand that's spending money on ads. Okay, and he's wearing glasses. Okay, so as I said before, Facebook relies on money. Okay, without money, Facebook wouldn't be free. So Facebook makes millions of dollars probably every hour, maybe tens of millions every hour, but they're making billions and billions of dollars by people just like me and people wanting to sell coaching, Shopify products, skincare, jumpers, hats, pens, water bottles. There's so much money when it comes to Facebook. So brands will give Facebook money, whether it's $5 a day or $5 million a day. I'm sure that you've seen an ad before on Facebook. So this person here, let's just say the CPM. So the CPM, and for those that don't know what CPM, it's the cost per 1,000 impressions. So this person here is, let's just say they're being charged, so they're just targeting people in the USA. So let's just say they're being charged $50 to reach 1,000 people. Okay, 1,000 people. Now what happens is this person here has an ad for sunglasses. Okay, they've got a sunglass business as an example, and I'm a really bad drawer, but I'm sure you get the point. So to reach 1,000 people. Now let's just say you have a post on Facebook and you're in the monetization program, and your post is about sunglasses, or your post is about nature and you're wearing sunglasses in the post, or you have a video and it's about sunglasses, or your audience is about, that the audience that is in, and this is why I say it's very, very important that you speak to one person, because you want data. Very, very important that you fill your page and your profile with as much of the same data as possible. And what I mean is the keyword data. So again, if you're teaching AI and mindset and psychology, not good. I just want you to do one thing. Stick to AI. Either stick to psychology, stick to one keyword. Facebook is run by keywords and data. So the sunglasses probably isn't a keyword, but when it comes to targeting and keywords on Facebook, you might find that one of the keywords is Oakleys, and then one of the keywords is Ray-Bans. Okay, so Ray-Bans, the audience might be 4 million people or 5 million people in the USA that has an interest in Ray-Bans, or they've bought Ray-Bans in the past. Okay, so if you just target one keyword, the CPM is going to be a little bit higher because they're more likely to buy a product or an ad. So what Facebook's going to do is, let's just say you have a video on Facebook, okay? Or it's a reel or an image, doesn't really matter. And your video is going viral, or your post is going viral or semi-viral, or it's just doing well in the algorithm. Facebook is either going to put an ad here about Ray-Bans, or it's going to have an ad here, or at the end of the video, it's going to pop in an ad. So every time that Facebook shows an ad to your audience, you get paid a little bit of money, and it's taking out of this. So the higher the CPM, the more money you're going to make. So let's just say you have a dog page, dog versus, let's just say, real estate. Okay, real estate. Okay, and again, I'm sure you can understand that, real estate. So people who have an interest in real estate generally have a lot more money than people who have an interest in dogs, because you don't have to have a lot of money to own a dog, whereas you have to have a lot of money if you own property. So the audience that are liking and watching stuff about houses and real estate and property investing, they probably make over $100,000 a year, maybe $200,000 a year. And if this audience is, let's just say, 2 million people, it's a very specific niche and very super high quality. Whereas the dog audience in the USA, it could be 200 million people, okay? But it also could be people that are teenagers, like 16-year-olds, 18-year-olds that are still at university. Most people have an interest in dogs. And that means you can be rich, you could be poor, you could be not doing well in life, you could have an interest in cats as well. So the CPM the cost to reach 1,000 of these people, specifically the keyword dog, could be really cheap. It could be $12, okay? Whereas real estate, because the audience is lower and it's niched, and this audience has a lot more money, and again, Facebook knows that this audience has a lot more money because they're probably buying more things on Facebook. Facebook tracks what you do outside of Facebook. If you're clicking on ads, if you're buying stuff, like where you live, it has all this data. So if you live in a more expensive area or a suburb, let's just say the medium household where you live in your suburb is $5 million, okay? And most people in the dog niche, you live in an average household. 80% of these people might be struggling or have a little bit of money. Maybe even 3% of these people live in wealthy households, but the median value could be $800,000. So this audience here is a lot more valuable, and it's niched. So Facebook is going to charge you a lot more money. It could be $40, it could be even $80. So if you have a post in real estate or property investing and it goes viral, you're probably going to be making So let's just say you write a dog post on Facebook versus real estate, or property investing, and you get 1 million views here and you get 1 million views here. You're probably going to be making here anywhere from $20 to maybe $40 per 1 million views, okay? Because there's a lot more people that are interested in dogs, and it's not really that valuable, yeah? Whereas with real estate, because of the money, Facebook's going to be charging the advertiser a lot more income or revenue to advertise. So if you have a post that goes viral, which is very hard to do when it comes to real estate, you're probably going to be making anywhere from $150, depending on what the post is, to maybe $300, maybe even more, okay? So this is how the bidding system works. And if you have, a dog page, a cat page, a frog page, a humor page, a meme page, you're going to be paid a lot less money simply because the audience isn't that valuable, and it all depends on data. So if you can feed your page or your profile the data, and this is why research is super important. So if you're creating a new profile or a new page, what's going to make more money? So for me, let's just say I wanted 1 million followers and I wanted to make $50,000 a month. Do you think I would make more money if I had a funny meme page that gets 100 million views a month? Or do you think I would make more money if I had a business page or a psychology page? So let's say psychology page, and I had 1 million followers. Now, psychology, that is not as expensive as real estate and property investing, but psychology is still a high-paying keyword than a funny meme. And that's because a lot more people are going to be clicking on the funny meme page, but they're not really going to be interacting and engaging. The thing with a meme and like dogs and cats is you're not emotionally involved. So if you have a funny dog page and there's a funny dog video, I might watch the video for 30 seconds and go haha or lol, but then I'm scrolling on. Whereas if you have a psychology page and it's 7 tips to quit smoking, 7 important hacks to quit alcohol addiction, or just whatever, but everything's relating to psychology. Well, if you're talking about quitting smoking, because it's a huge pain point, people are going to be commenting and engaging and reading the comments and replying back to people in the comments. So the funny memes page, your average watch time spent or time spent on Facebook could be 10 seconds, okay? Which means that they're going to see less ads on Facebook. Whereas the psychology page, because they're more engaged and there's a lot more pain involved and it's a higher keyword, and the CPM is 5 times more than memes, maybe even 10 times more than memes, they might be spending 5 minutes on Facebook. So you're going to be making not necessarily 50 times more income or revenue, but you're going to be making a lot more money simply because you're starting in a higher paying niche, okay? So I hope this is really, really valuable. So that is how the bidding system works on Facebook. So it's not how Facebook is just randomly going to give you money because you're good looking, or they're going to give you money because they think that you've got a cool dog video. It depends on so many different things. Now, if I show you Facebook, now we're going to go on my Facebook right now, and I might have to blur some stuff out here just for privacy, but we're just going to scroll down here and we're going to see if we can see some ads. Okay, so here's an ad here. So that's a sponsored post, but this isn't organic, okay? So Cole isn't going to be making money on this because it's an ad, okay? So let's find something organic, Okay, so no ad here. That's another sponsored post. So let's see if we can find something organic. Okay, weight loss. Let's find something organic. So that's another ad. Let's find something. So usually it's videos and reels that they're pushing. But what you'll find, and maybe they're not targeting me because I don't click on a lot of ads. But what you'll see is if a post is going viral, it'll have something like this. There'll be a little ad at the bottom of your post. Now, what Facebook do is they will pay you more money. So let's just say 1,000 people read your post or they watch your video. And if no one clicks on an ad, so let's just say you get 1 million views. And on average, it's about $100 per million views. Let's just say it's $100. If no one's clicking on the ad that Facebook is showing, you're going to be making less money because Facebook can charge the advertiser more money based on clicks because there's different data points. There's clicks, there's retargeting. When you retarget people on Facebook, your CPM goes higher because it's a more narrow audience. So Facebook will charge the advertiser more money. So if I click on this, I've just made this person money if this was organic, which it's not. So if people are clicking on the ads that are at the bottom of your organic post, you're going to make a lot more money. So this is why a lot of the time you could have some posts that have the same engagement, the same views, the same text posts or videos. They're exactly the same. However, one of them is being paid a lot more. And that's simply because maybe some of these people are clicking on ads. And if they're clicking on ads, Facebook gets more data, which means, again, as I said before, the advertiser can now spend more money on retargeting. So it's another audience. So Facebook is full of data points. And being a marketer, you need to be able to analyze this data and look at this from a bird's eye view and look at it as a system rather than just pumping out content thinking that Facebook's going to give you money randomly. So this is how the bidding system works. I hope this wasn't confusing and I hope you understand. If you have any questions whatsoever, let me know in the comments. But once you understand how the bidding system works, you will understand how and why Facebook will give you money. And it's all based on the amount of money that Facebook has. So I'll give you another example. Let's just say I'm targeting cars. Okay, actually let's make this thicker. So I'm targeting Jesus. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit. So I'm targeting the keyword cars and I'm spending $10 a day on Facebook. Now there's another person that has cars as well. Okay, so they're targeting exactly the same keyword. Yeah, so these are both keywords. Okay, but this person is spending $10,000 a day. Okay, so this person here, their CPM is going to be, let's just say, $30. This person, their CPM is going to be, let's just say, $14. Now, I'm going to get into a little bit of advanced stuff because for me to help you become a better marketer, I can't just teach basic stuff or intermediate stuff. I have to go into the more advanced training. And I want you guys to become advanced marketers. So hopefully one day you can coach this to your students and your students can get better results as well. But not just that, you can get better results for yourself. So the bidding system. If this person, so the Facebook is an auction. So when I say the bidding system, it's an auction. So the Facebook algorithm runs on bidding and auctions. So this is a thing called manual bidding, okay? But I won't confuse you. Let's just use automatic bidding. Facebook will work on automatic bidding just fine. However, Back in 2016 to 2019, it was a more advanced strategy learning about manual bidding. Okay. And that basically is, and this is how the bidding system works. If you can spend more money than the competitor, you will gain the person. So I'll give you an example. This is a mobile phone or a desktop. For this case, it's a mobile, okay? Mobile phone. Now, because this person is only spending $10 a day and this person's spending $10,000 a day, their CPM is $30 and this CPM is $14. So Facebook is going to spend more money on this advertiser, which means that they're going to be paying more per click. So let's just say per click, the cost per click could be $1.30 as an example, okay? Now this CPM could be, the cost per click could be $1.12 as an example, okay? Could be cheaper, could be a little bit more, but I'm sure you get it. So if Facebook wants to make more money, do you think they're going to go with the cost per click of $1.12 or $1.30? They're going to favor this because this advertiser is spending more money in the auction. So they're going to win the bid. So the cost per click and their CPM is higher, but the cost per click, they've won the click, which means that the next time that this person, the advertiser, has an ad shown, it's going to be shown higher in the person's newsfeed. So this will be an ad. So if you're spending more money to win the auction, let's just say I get out my phone and I'm on my phone for 5-10 seconds. If you spend the most money and you win the bid or you win the auction, your ad is going to be higher in the algorithm. Now, you're still going to, this person here, their ad is still going to be shown in the algorithm. So ad for car. However, instead of spending 5-10 seconds on Facebook, people are being shown this ad, but they're spending 5 minutes on Facebook, okay? Now, Facebook also has the data. The less time people are on Facebook, the more likely they are to click on an ad and buy something versus someone who's just scrolling and wasting a lot of time. They click on a lot of things. And so Facebook is going to favor the person who's spending the most amount of money. So again, you're still going to make sales with $10. However, you're not winning the auction, okay? Whereas if you're spending a lot more money, you're spending maybe twice as much money. So you'll realize at the start when you're spending money, you're going to make a little bit more money at the start because you're only spending $5-10 a day. And your cost per click is usually the cheapest, yeah? But the more money that you spend, the more expensive your CPM is because you need to spend more money to win the click because you're in competition with thousands and thousands of other people that are trying to target the same keyword, which is cars, as is an example. Again, if you're into AI, it could be the keyword AI, it could be Tony Robbins, it could be fitness, it could be any keyword, yeah? But this is how the auction works. So if people are spending more money in the auction and their cost per click is higher and their ad is shown on your organic post, whether that's a text post, an image post, or a reel or a video, you're going to get paid a little bit of money from that. So you're not only making a little bit of money on the impression, which is here, the impression, yeah, you're making money on the cost per click. So, and you're also making money on if anyone clicks on an ad and purchases a product. So, as I said before, every single time someone does something on Facebook, it's called an action. And Facebook literally has millions of different data points. They know when you're zooming in on a photo. They know when you're saving something. They know when you're screenshotting something. They know when you copy a text. They literally know every time you buy something. They know when you're going on a website after Facebook. They know the time spent on Facebook. They track everything. So every time that there's an impression, this goes in an audience. Every time you click on something, this goes in an audience. This is called a custom audience. Every time that you purchase something, you're in another audience. Now, Facebook does this because when an advertiser knows that you're on Facebook, this is called, mainly this is called broad or a cold audience, yeah? And this is people on Facebook that are just viewing, they're just scrolling, and they don't really click on anything, they don't really buy. So this is the cheapest audience, which is the memes, because people that are looking at memes and pointless stuff on Facebook, they're not really buying anything because there's not a lot of pain points there. The cost per click, when people are clicking on something, that's an action. So when people are clicking, they're more likely to take action on something and read something and spend more time on Facebook. People that are clicking something are more likely to buy something because you need to buy something, but before buying, you need to click on something. So this is what I mean. Everything that someone does is based on an action, and Facebook makes money based on these actions. So let's just say that the car audience could be it could be 200 million people in the USA. And again, I don't know exactly, I'm just making these numbers up, but maybe 200 million people in the USA like cars. And in the world, it could be 500 million or a billion people that, like the keyword, that have an interest in cars. Okay. But people that are purchasing something that have an interest in cars, whether that's a car product or they've gone on Temu and they've bought something about cars, or they bought a car accessory, or they've seen a BMW ad and then they've bought a BMW. Facebook knows all this information. So the purchase here has gone from 200 million to maybe, let's just say, purchase 50,000 people. So this audience is super valuable, which means that this audience here, the CPM could be, let's just say $20, okay? But if you're targeting this keyword and you're targeting these people because Facebook has the audience, your CPM could be $200 or even $300 if you're retargeting these people. So this is how the bidding system works. And if you're targeting these people and they're buying stuff, then you're more likely to make more money with content monetization on your organic posts. So this is highly detailed. I wanted to show you how the auction system works on Facebook, because once you learn this, you start to understand and learn Facebook isn't just you post a post and Facebook likes it and then they want to give you money. No, it's based on advertisers and how much money that they're willing to spend and what your audience and what people are doing on Facebook, whether they're liking something, engaging something, sharing with their friends, copying the link, time spent on Facebook. You're going to make more money if people spend 20 minutes on your post compared to 5 seconds on a meme. You're going to make more money if people are clicking things and buying rather than clicking on something and then not buying. So I hope this video is very, very helpful. You will now know, more than 99.9% of people that are claiming that they're experts in Facebook growth. You are now an expert growth content creator or marketer. As soon as you start to realize and learn how the algorithm and how the monetization system works. So I hope this video was helpful. Please share this video online because, I've done this for free. I'm not making any money on this. This is going on YouTube. I'm not even monetized on YouTube, so I'm not making any money on this. But I hope learning this, you will make money. You'll, 10x what you're making. And you'll subscribe to my channel and you'll get the word out. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. I'll see you in the next video.